Hello everyone and welcome back to SpartanGaming plays Sherlock Holmes Crimes of Punishment. We are on case, I've already forgot what case number it is. I'm guessing 4. It probably is 3, no matter look. But yeah, the Abbey Grange affair. It even says. It says right here, the Abbey Grange affair. So yeah, we are picking up Toby to follow the scent trail. It is very fun.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Look at his dumpy little legs. Brilliant. You don't see those types of dogs much in England anymore.
Search, Toby.
Woof woof. And I could hit a bird. So all we need to do now is follow the fart trail. You can see it's just here. You kind of like a green. I don't know if it comes out too much in the recording, but yeah, I kind of know where to go, so it's not too difficult. You want to see him running? I can't zoom out anymore, but yeah, look at his little dumpy legs. What a cute dog.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
God, I really wish Toby was speaking in this game. It would be so funny. Somebody should really dub just him speaking. I like the soundtrack for this case. It's got that kind of melody, you know, the melodrama, like piano in the background. It's very nice. Gawking, the lens flare on that. Woof woof.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
And the last place should be this well. That should be it.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Yes, why did they choose such a winding route? I'm sure we'll find out soon. That's a nice well, isn't it, to have one of these in your house? It'd be weird.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire. There's something glittering at the bottom there.
I wonder what that could be. What could possibly be in the bottom of this well? Sarcasm is not the best thing to be doing when you can't see.
Hook might be useful.
Nice.
This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
It's lost all of its souls, that's why, mate.
Small gardening tools. Nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
Why would he have bags of seed? Like, there's no greenhouse or, is there a greenhouse? No, there's not. What would they be bags of seed? What's that down there? Oh man, I hate how they put wood up there so you can't see the outside of the assets. Bags of seed. Probably growing weed. Yeah, I think if he smoked weed, he'd be less angry, less punchy. I still don't like the fact that I have no inventory. It still angers me. It violently angers me. Maddening almost. I miss having a box that pops up when I press T or I. No, it's I, isn't it normally? Yeah, like. Oh, I forgot to do the rope. Bollocks. Come on. Oh, it's a box of... Oh, it's a packet.
Silverware.
That
This is hardly...
fork is massive. Why is the fork so big? Why is it so big? Man, is this like for a giant or something? Holy shit. It's got monogrammed cutlery.
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Wouldn't getting rid of monogrammed like cutlery and shit be like really hard to do? And again, I guess you'd just melt it down, wouldn't you? So, oh god, I'm gonna go. No, not yet. I might as well finish talking. I think I'll go back to Baker Street doing the rope and then coming back. But all the rope does is unlock a something for your deduction board.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Really a mystery though, is it? It's kind of obvious what happened. Like the thief was obviously a setup.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Yes, that's what all robbers do. Stop for a drink. How stupid do you think Sherlock is, lady? Fucking hell.
We found your silverware at the Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
What happens to this woman now that
Ladyship.
that guy's dead? Like, he obviously has no kids. This woman's definitely not pregnant. I mean, she might be, but it's definitely not his. You know what I mean? Like, the heir of the estate wouldn't go to the wife, would it? Would it? I guess it would go to his brothers or his other family. I don't think Victorian time women inherited their husbands' estates and stuff. They could have done. I might be talking absolute bollocks here, but I mean, I could research it, but I mean, why the fucking hell would I care? I'm just like, what would this woman do now? Guess she could just go back home, can't she? Nobody wants to stay in England this fucking death hole of a time.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
If you knew that. Indeed. Is that Sherlock Holmes saying, yeah, I'm not stupid, lady. Okay. Let's go back to Baker Street. Right. I need to come here.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut.
It's obviously that it's with a knife.
Find out
Yeah.
what tool was used to cut the rope.
Well, we can use a knife or we can use the scissors. We'll use the scissors first. Oh, God.
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
It's like it's made out of Play-Doh.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
That is a bloody sharp knife to cut through, like, rope that easily. That's crazy. So, knotted rope, sharp knife. Sailor background. The rope was cut once with a sharp knife, tied quickly in sailor's knots. This could indicate that the intruder had a sailor's background. Oh no, there was one more, wasn't there? Criminal's silverware. This is here. Robbery is the motive. Robbery is confirmed as the motive for the crime. This criminals may have plans to return for the silverware that they dumped, or imitated robbery. The robbery could have been imitated to explain Sir Eustace's death. The silverware was not supposed to be found. It's definitely an imitated robbery. Ooh. Murderous visitor. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. If he was the one who tied up Lady Brackensdale, he is tall and strong. Look for a sailor. Person who was visited last night. Basically, he was a sailor. Right. Then we come to here. And we need to go newspapers. 93. Rock of Gibraltar.
Here it is.
It's like I've done this before. I did run through this mission not too long ago. It was I can't remember it being so short, but it's nice. It's nice to have a quick short case. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. She went from Australia to New Zealand and then to India, then to England. Would that be right? Because she would have gone reverse, wouldn't she? She came from Australia. She was on a ship for 6 months. My days. I could barely sit still for 6 fucking seconds, let alone 6 months. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent. That's nothing to be proud of, mate. So she's from a family. She's an heiress. Why the hell would she want to come to England and marry this dickhead? I mean, I guess she didn't realise he was a dickhead, did she, when she married him? Still. I wonder how old Eustace is then. Because if he's already got, like, medical reports saying he's basically dying of liver disease, he must be in his 50s or at least late 40s. If he's a heavy drinker. And she's what, like, in her 20s? That's an odd thing to marry a guy who's basically old enough to be your dad. I mean, I'm not kink shaming. I know a lot of people do that. But, you don't come from these times where you can just divorce somebody. Not quite 25. That's what an odd thing to say. She's from a wealthy Australian family. She's been married for a little more than a year. She has, in all probability, suffered physical violence over the course of the last fortnight. The lady lives a solitary lifestyle, seldom venturing outside. Huh. You can't see the, you don't have like a profile of the murder victim. You can't like check how old Beatty McFist is. I don't think it says anywhere, does it? No. That's a shame. This is what, 25-ish? Damn, man.
Adelaide, Southampton, London line.
How did he woo her? It's a question.
Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
These little street urchins. Wiggins, get your scrawny ass up here.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
I bet that boy's got nothing else to do all day. I'll stand here waiting. Amazing.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
It's not hard to be better, is it, really? We've all seen how useless Scotland Yard is.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
You notice how Watson looked at Holmes when he talked about half a guinea? Because Watson's instantly thought, that's me out of half a guinea for every one of these little shits. Watson's definitely paying, whether he likes it or not.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor.
Oh, she was cooking her husband.
And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
So all you need to do is basically check the list of who's on these and just click on them. So we know that Henry Southward.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Let's have a look. Charles, Jack, Ernest, Thomas, Hubert. Hubert. Such a weird name. Rock of Gibraltar.
This
Charles
officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
William.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
We still need Hubert, Thomas, Ernest, and Jacques. Where's Jack?
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime.
Oh.
And he is due to depart in 2 days.
Oh, there's our murderer. Murdoch. That's not a very English name. I don't think I've ever met anyone called Murdoch. A fucking cool name though. Reminds me of Lethal Weapon. Ernest, Thomas, and Hubert. Where the hell are them? Ernest, Thomas, Hubert. Hubert.
I do not think that this...
I didn't click on that. That's why, you dumbass. I clicked on the one underneath.
Cannot be involved. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Where the fuck's Ernest? I've obviously went past him because we're back to the beginning now. And oh, there he is.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Great eyes there,
Captain
dummy.
Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Oh. Mr. Crocker. Sounds like a murderer, doesn't he? Like Jack the Ripper.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Just gonna bring him here. Weird. He tries to murder you.
Could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
See? Watson gets it.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Then you realise that Watson has a gun, so... What the fuck's this guy gonna do? Pop a cap in his ass.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Guy's got a fucking great beard. She's not got a very nice taste for men, has she? These guys are all older. Like, a lot older than her. Clear look. He's honest. I don't know if I trust a guy who's shagging somebody else's wife. Oh, the graphics have gone weird. That doesn't look good, does it? It crash on me now, bloody video game. He's got clean boots. What have I missed? Oh, he's got a knife.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love. particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You? And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Maybe she just likes to be tied up. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing like a bit of a spicy bondage to spice up your relationship while your husband's sleeping upstairs. Sailor knots.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot.
That's not very good evidence.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
I think it was fixing Miss Brackenstall's porthole because it was leaking.
What do we do now?
See
Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Thanks, Watson. And this one. Crocker's involvement. Crocker is lying. His involvement is clear. He appeared as soon as he heard that I was looking for him, thus signaling his guilt. Crocker's alibi. Captain Crocker was aboard the Sharp on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. He has confident demeanour. He was involved. Too obvious. And just like that, we can already finish the this case. That's basically it. The only thing we can do now is accuse, and that's the mission over. It's super short, but you know, it's nice and sweet. So there's two conclusions. All you need to do for the next one is change these. It should be right. Robbery is the motive. Domestic violence. No acquaintance. Go. You can accuse the Randalls. Eustace was murdered by the Randall gang. Robbery is confirmed as the motive of the crime. Gloria to Lestrada trumped the police. Well, we already know that that's not true. We already know that the captain is the killer. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall, agile, and has a high-ranking sailor. Why would you have a secret rendezvous in your own house where your husband's still there? That's not how you have an affair, lady. Like, surely she could have snuck out and, you know, had a shag in the shed or something. You don't invite your lover to have a glass of fucking wine while your husband's upstairs snoring his ass off. It's Oh, we can arrest him. Jack Crocker is a murderer, and you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackenstall, to justice or absolve him. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and 𝘨𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮𝘮 I can't even read that word. Dipsomaniacal man. What the fuck does that even mean? I've never heard that. I've never heard that word before. Stop using such confusing words, Sherlock Holmes. You tall, lanky shit. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it a secret. I'm not going to absolve this guy. Arrest this guy. Like, I guess these choices show you what kind of a person you are. I mean, in theory, he did murder someone, even if it was in self-defense of a lady. But at the end of the day, Sir Eustace is just an abusive alcoholic. I'm not gonna arrest him. I would have done the exact same thing in his position. In fact, I probably would have beat the fuck out of him to death instead of hitting him on the head with a poker. But yeah, I'm a violent, very violent man. But yeah, you keep those shit to yourself, don't you? I'm not a murderer. Oh, I'm not gonna say if I am. And yes, I don't give a shit about the moral choice. I'm not arresting this guy for murdering a bastard.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
That guy's gonna be like, oh, I just got back. Barely an hour has passed.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
Just
I admit that
kept
I
his
loved
mouth
her
shut.
badly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the
Where did he get that letter from?
Goes to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Get ready for a quick time event. Because you need a quick time event in these situations. It's not over yet. Get ready to press. You bastard. It's just what you need, isn't it, in a game like this? Quick time events.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox Dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
He says in the morning.
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
I guess the randoms never existed? Or, I don't know. I don't get that part. Anyway, So Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. They staged it as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used his sea arm to cut the bell rope to tie the lady and then hid the silver away in the well. Jack Crocker defended the woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. That still feels weird to say. You have decided to keep it a secret. I did, tee. And as you can see, we absolutely finished this mission in like quite quick. You can finish this mission super fast if you skip all the dialogue. And yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You know, it's a good mission. It's very good. It's I think the next one, which is the Kew Gardens or something. Let's have a look. Yeah, the Kew Gardens drama is quite long. I remember not liking it. I think it dragged on a bit too much for my personal taste, but I can't remember too much, so I don't remember too much about it actually. Oh well, we'll figure it out in the next videos anyway. So yeah, until then, peeps, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.